And I showed the author, David Kiddos Jr., this, and he's like, "No, you can't kill Erica Slaughter." Like, I don't think she's the good guy. I was like, I don't think the Chihuahuas care who the good guy is.
It just makes the threat of the Chihuahuas more real.
Hey guys, now you all know me, but did you know about Night of the Chihuahuas? I love this comic book, so jump on board now for a wild ride. Come one, come all to the greatest show on earth. And P.S. Josh, he's just the best.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Sketch Guide here, and welcome back to the Fandam Collectibles YouTube channel. I have two special guests who are here to promote an indie project that you definitely need to have on your radar, Night of the Chihuahuas. Welcome, Nate and Joshua, to the channel. Thanks for being here, guys.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you for having us.
Absolutely. It's a pleasure to have you here. And just introduce the people a little bit to yourselves, your role with Night of the Chihuahuas, and why you're excited to really talk about this project and bring it to the masses.
Go ahead, Josh.
Well, my name's Josh, and me and Nate and I have been friends for 20, 30 years. And the project fell in his lap, and we decided to turn it into a business and started Pork Chop Express, which is our publishing and distribution, totally independent. This book about killer mutant chihuahuas trying to take over a small city was pretty interesting, something new. During COVID, a lot of people were at home. They weren't going to the movies. They wanted new material. So it seemed like a good idea, and then we've had our ups and downs with this project, and then we're almost in the final stages here. We're 1 through 3 are out now. It's a 5-book series. 4 is getting work. There's a variant, and there's number 1 and another variant. I do a lot of the behind the scenes stuff. Nate is like the project manager, and he's the art director, and he takes care of all that kind of stuff. I'm behind the scenes trying to get the business to run, like legit on paper, business plans. A lot of networking involved, a lot of promotion involved, and Nate does really good on social media. And we're fortunate enough now to work with Eric Ruiz. I can't say his last name right. I'm sorry, Eric. Really fortunate to work with this guy. It's his first comic, and he's doing a phenomenal job of. We work with about 3 different artists now before him, and he bridged the gap pretty good on the 4th issue. So it would be seamless, like if you're reading it or watching the artistic creativity go. He bridged the gap between all of them, and with his own style as well in there.
I do want to just jump in and say this is something that I brought up to Nate yesterday evening as we were preparing to record today. I've appreciated what's going on in terms of storytelling for issues 1 through 3, but with 4, you can really see the impact that Eric has had on the series. It was quite the jump. So Night of the Chihuahuas was good to start with, but you could see that you've turned a corner, and this is the perfect time for fans to jump on board because you're hitting on all cylinders. The writing is there, the pencils, the inks are there. It's just phenomenal storytelling. But I digress. Didn't mean to interrupt you, Joshua. Just wanted to tell people when you're giving Eric his props, it's genuine. If they read this series, they're going to see that when issue 4 gets in their hands, if they liked it beforehand, now they're going to say, wow, they really stepped it up.
Correct.
Yeah, I really think he did. And that was I say this all the time, but it's true. It was kind of Josh's thing. We were looking for another artist and kind of poking around, had some different people do out some sample pages, and Josh was like, no, we got to go with this guy. And I was kind of on the fence, and we're like, okay. And when he started putting the artwork out, and you could see he had bridged the styles from the original artist was RC Torres and us. This was in 2011. We I'll kind of go back into your question and feed myself into it. 2011, we got RC Torres, and we were working with him. He did issues 1 and 2. We started a Kickstarter, tried to raise $20,000. Kickstarter was not the same beast back then, and we didn't raise hardly anything. So we had 2 issues done approximately. We were going for a graphic novel. So in, I think, like Josh said, 2020 or 2021, somewhere in there, we met up with another artist, Albert Morales, and we decided to try to pull through. And then Albert had his own unique style, and it didn't work out with him. And we were lucky enough to find Eric. So Eric will be starting issue 5 on the 1st, and fingers crossed nothing goes weird or wrong with that. He's probably one of the most solid people I've met working, for a short time in the industry. He gets it done. He does good work. He's communicates well. If he's not going to make a deadline, he'll call you like 2 weeks in advance and like, I don't think I'm going to make that, can I have 5 more days? Like, sure. Like it's just good communication. So do you want me to show you his cover?
Absolutely.
So this is his first cover. Let's see if it and it's supposed to be reminiscent of I don't know, is that better? Of Resident Evil. So that's his first cover. It's his first book. His ad, he has his own brand called Lucharillas, which is about wrestling gorillas. So he has an ad on the back, and this guy he's pretty happy from what I can tell. He's ready to take on the world. So kind of reeling it back about me. I'm a disabled veteran. Was a filmmaker for years, and never really had the success that I was looking for. I met David. I used to write movie reviews for a magazine, and I met David through that, and I reviewed Night of the Chihuahuas. And when I watched it, the movie had $1,000 budget. It had 3 Chihuahuas that were untrained, but he put his heart into it, and you could tell like there was something to it. It wasn't, I've seen bad movies, and I've seen bad movies with $100,000 budget, but it was fun. So we became friends. We made another movie together called Promise, which I think is on Amazon. It's not the best, but we made a movie. It was cool. I produced it. He wrote and directed it. And after that got done, we just, were like kind of talking about what we could do next. And that's where the whole genesis of like, wow, it'd be fun to make Night of the Chihuahuas into a graphic novel. So that kind of led into, like I had said, trying to make the graphic novel, the failure, and then realizing like we have 2 books done if we split this into 5. So why not go for it? And like Josh said, I don't remember when it was, but I at one point I'm like, Josh, you want to put some money into this? And he's like, what are you talking about? He's like, you're crazy. So, but we started working on it, and issue 3 was some very iffy ground for us. But working with Eric, finding Eric, working with Eric, issue 4 being done, we've got a Kickstarter right now, and we're feeling positive about finishing and then trying to learn how to make it successful beyond that, because this is our first foray into making comic books. And I mean, we're not the best. We're trying, we're learning, and I don't think we're doing half bad. So.
Oh, you absolutely are not doing half bad. I get you being humble. That's one of the things that I know that people are going to appreciate about getting to know you two a bit more. But fact of the matter is, I did take the time to read these gorgeous promo books that you sent my way. So we'll talk a little bit more about some of the cover art, some of the things that you two have working in the background. But just in terms of Night of the Chihuahuas as a read, I was definitely impressed. I knew it would be fun just based on the title, but I gotta tell people this, with that name, Pork Chop Express, for their publications, you definitely are letting folks know, if they're a fan of John Carpenter, especially John Carpenter in his prime, and then with that title, Night of the Chihuahuas, obviously there's some George Romero in there. The classic horror vibe is communicated with completely clear. I mean, if you love that kind of stuff, if you are a fan of The Thing, They Live, Pork Chop Express, of course, I got to bring up Big Trouble in Little China, and just that classic horror setup, people from very different stripes of life brought together because of this crisis, in this case, killer chihuahuas. You're in for something that's going to be right up your alley. It's a lot of fun. The story is told well. It moves. And like I said, it's just a really, really good read. So I want people to understand that, especially leading into this Kickstarter that you have for the 4th issue. So if you could tell us a little bit about what's available and what people can bring home depending on their level of support, we'll just make it more clear, why it is that they gotta hit that link, which we are showing at the bottom of our screen, checking out what's going on with this Kickstarter, and making sure that they bring Night of the Chihuahuas' latest chapter home.
So for the Kickstarter issue 4, we have our main cover, which I showed you, and I'll show you again. This cover is by Eric Ruiz. And then our variant cover is, you guys know The Last of Us. This is our we call it our chicker, like Chihuahua clicker. And that's by J Photos. We have different types of covers. We'll have a gold foil. We'll have a gold spot foil on the chicker, with the title will be in gold spot foil along with the tagline. If you guys haven't heard or read, it is God made them small, man made them deadly. We have some hollow foils. We have a cover called the 7 Cs. I don't know, can you pull up the Kickstarter easily, or?
Yeah, actually, I do have that tab ready to go. So Ebony Blade, who is with us, she's not on camera.
Ebony.
I'm trying to actually, because I know you're adminning right now, but I want to present.
I can show. I actually have the original artwork for it right here. Okay. So I know you're a big original artwork guy.
Absolutely.
But this is the 7 Cs cover. It is reminiscent of a movie we may or may all have not watched. But the cool thing is and we've learned a little bit about plagiarism as we've been doing this, because there's parody, and then there's plagiarism. And this is by Leon LeClaire, and he drew this. You can see the differences, but they're very subtle that he drew. So those are our 3 covers. In our reward tiers, we have, like I said, different. We have hollow foil. We actually have our first metal cover will be the 7 Cs cover, but it is only as an add-on. So if most people haven't figured that out yet, I tried to be clear about it. I wanted it to be something special. And we have a tier where you can have your dog drawn on our cover. It will be mutated. One person's already picked that, and they want their dog to be the Terminator. So
okay. I think people want to see that one. Hold on.
We sold that as down. It's down further. It says your dog our cover. It's a white panel, or go down. It's down further. Down. You're right there. Oh, it isn't white. Your dog, our cover. So we had somebody sell this, buy this one. We were just going to do one, but we've heard people saying they want it. So you will actually get your dog. You send us a picture of your dog. We will pick the artist, and if the person has a reference that we can work with, they say they want, Army of Darkness or something with their dog on it, and the guy with the chainsaw hand, Ash, something silly like that. We'll go ahead, get the artist, get your dog drawn on the cover, publish the cover. You'll get 5 copies of that cover when it comes out, and this won't be till January of 2024 because we have to produce everything. And then you'll get a t-shirt. So that's kind of a fun reward tier that we have. We're going to be putting out a Black, White, and Blood series, which a lot of the artwork, let me see, like for instance, this one, we're going to make it into it's like a negative. The eye will be red. There'll be blood dripping from the mouth, but it will be basically white, white background with a dog and kind of a film negative look. And we're just trying to use what we have and be creative. What else do we have? We have a writer's, the author David Kiddos Jr. is published author and screenwriter, and we have a package where you can learn to write from him. We have retailer packages. Yeah, and I think that's kind of it. A lot of ahs and ums.
That's kind of it. You guys got a lot going on. There are a lot of ways to show support and be rewarded for being an early backer. Jumping on the Night of the Chihuahuas train while it's still in the station. So definitely lots of options there. You folks should check it out. Link at the bottom of the screen here. Where are we going with Night of the Chihuahuas? Just given that you've already referred to issue 5, which it sounds like there are some ideas, but it's also the end of the arc, correct?
For this series.
Okay, so what can people expect, not only with this comic that they're going to bring home from the Kickstarter, but that's going to have them hooked. I know that. And they're going to look forward to how this particular series wraps up. What can folks look forward to?
I just want to give props to Josh again. It's my Josh prop section. Josh, it was Josh's idea for Pork Chop Express. He had the reference, reminds us of the innocence of our youth and the things we loved. So, and then most people don't get the reference. They're like, what is Pork Chop Express? You explain it to them. They're like, oh yeah, I remember. But
Jack Burton made an impression on me, man. So
it's all in the reflexes.
Yes, exactly. So that I did get.
When we were starting this project, we had to lay down some rules. Like, it has to be fun. Some of the business may get in the way here and there, but business can take away from your creativity and stuff. And that, Nate's more I come from a music background. Nate's more of a film. So, I can deal with this business stuff, a lot of it, while he can still be creative. And if it's not fun, it's not worth losing 30-year relationship, friendship, or, Nate's wife is involved. It's not, you don't want to lose a marriage over this. It has to be fun.
I don't want to do that.
Very true.
And if it becomes where it's not fun anymore, then it's not worth doing it. And that's our mindset. It's just got to be playful, fun, whatever we get into. Nate has other projects. I have a project. It has to be fun. And when it doesn't become fun anymore, I think we will throw in the towel. But it's right now, we're having loads of fun.
And as I said before, that comes through on every page. You guys are genuinely enjoying telling this story and getting it into fans' hands.
And for issue 5, the stakes just keep getting raised. It gets wild, it gets wacky, it gets gory, and so this is a 5-series set for this first arc. There is a second arc written called Chihuahuas from Hell, Night of the Chihuahuas from Hell, that gets even more crazy. And David is working on the third one, and he even has his mind off in this Chihuahua verse. That the Chihuahuas are changing around the world. So other stories involved. And I like what you said about, the references, George Romero and John Carpenter. It's like a lot of the things we write are kind of different, but they're still fun. If I can speak real quick, I have plug myself here. I've got a project I'm working on called Killer Hair. It's about a woman whose hair gets possessed, and it's initially she's kind of oblivious to what's going on. She's kind of entranced almost because she's been picked on her whole life and kind of down and out. Your typical underdog story. But her hair starts to make her assertive, and it actually starts to kill people. And there's a little allegory of different things going on there. I won't say too much, but it's meant to be fun. It's kind of like Rapunzel meets Venom. And then we have another project called Family Man, and the layouts are supposed to be done today. And it's your typical trope about like 4 teenage kids going into the spooky house in the woods. And what they find there is not what they at all thought they would find. And I really want to see people's genuine reactions because I don't want to say too much. It's just, it spins it right on its head. And the fun thing about it is there's not a lot of words to it. It's told in the visual aspect. So I'm looking forward. Maybe you'll take a look at it before it gets released and give an honest review. Maybe we'll do it offline first.
for sure. But I'm interested, man, especially just based on what I've already seen from you guys. Absolutely, I'll take a look at it.
Yeah. So, and like Josh said, he's got his story, and we want to keep it fun. Like Josh said, the business is hard sometimes. We've all butted heads, hard decisions to make. We don't know exactly where to go to make it successful, but we show up every day and we do our part, and new opportunities come up. Some doors close, but we're learning, and it's become a labor of love. It's I don't know. Josh and I were at one point we're just like, what do we do? Like what's going on in life? And we're like, oh, let's just do this. It'll be fun. It's like almost like a therapeutic kind of, call each other and talk about stories or, be grumpy about something else.
But I'll say that's part of what makes you guys so relatable to a lot of the fan base out there, because for most of us, this hobby, it's cathartic. It's a way to kind of deal with some of life's other issues. And, to see that you have a publishing group that is aware that people want to have fun. They want something to read that does connect them with, maybe some earlier memories. It's nostalgic for them. It reminds them of other properties that they already enjoy and love. There's a lot with Pork Chop Express that I think people will welcome once they get to know you two, which is why I really am appreciative that you guys are here. With that said, you're on the Fandam Collectibles YouTube channel. We got to talk more about the art. And it's my understanding that you do have perhaps some OA that you wanted us to see, and maybe we could take another look at those covers.
Yeah,
that definitely sell Night of the Chihuahuas to the viewership.
So I got can I talk about this, Josh?
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, here let's do a side-by-side comparison.
I didn't even know you had the book.
What does this look like to you?
I remember this. Okay.
Oh, you do? Okay. So this is a little education and plagiarism. And the artist that did this, he's a nice guy. We thought he was very talented. And it turned out that after releasing this cover and taking it around, so proud of our artwork, and we went to Hawaii. And in a store, the manager, he's like, that's a great Venom 9 homage. I was like, what? And we asked the artist if he had homaged Venom 9. It looks very similar, right?
He said no way.
Yeah, he told us twice that he did not. I was disappointed. I think Josh was disappointed. My wife said absolutely no way. And we pulled everything. The stores that still have them, we can't make them take them off their shelves. I don't feel we have that authority, but we pulled everything else. I might make like paper mache with them. I don't know. but that was it was, and we actually spoke to a lawyer. He's in New York. His name's Gamal Hennessy. And we talked to him about plagiarism because right now in comics, there's so many homages. So what is fair? And if you're going to do artwork, you say, Nate Price after Sketch God, because Sketch God did the original artwork. It's just a courtesy and a respect thing. So this person, I even had, if you go to our, well, I don't know, if you go to our Instagram page, I actually had a skateboard made by a professional wood burner of that image for that guy, and he took all the credit for it.
Oh man, okay. Yeah, let me share that. Hold on one second.
We're going back to that. We could have left them in the stores and we wouldn't gotten that much trouble, according to the lawyers. If you're doing small runs, it's all right. The worst thing that's going to happen on a small run, you're going to get a cease and desist letter. But us starting out, we don't even want anything to do with it, right? We don't want to even deal with it. We're starting out. We just decided to pull it.
And I think that's a decision that people will definitely respect.
Another weird thing is that artists told us that they wouldn't work with us if we continued to work with that guy. Even a couple stores said they wouldn't carry our books anymore. And it's like, and the guy wouldn't. I just don't understand why he wouldn't admit it. There you go, right there on the like that.
Yeah, I told you that was what I thought was strange too. I mean, like you said, homages are so common. If he just tried to play it off that way, I don't think anybody would have thought twice about it.
So if you scroll the pictures on this, there's multiple pictures.
Okay.
And this artist, her name is Shannon Hood. She did amazing.
Excuse me. The word burning?
So right here, yeah. She put Shannon Hood after. I had her do that specifically because this guy. Anyway, it's very frustrating.
Understood.
So like here, I'm going to cover his name. Here is the original artwork. So you can see the inking, but what it looks like he did was print and then ink around the white parts. And I don't know enough about this stuff, but it just seemed like too much subterfuge. Is that the right word?
I think that does sum up what we're basically talking about here, trying to cover the tracks.
So we can move on from that. This is our current issue 1 cover. Sorry, it's kind of hard to see. This is by Anastasia Still Smoking. That's her real last name. She's Native American, but this is a Shining. It's a little dark. We lightened it up for the cover, but she did that. It's amazing. So we have, I forgot. There's one other cover that I have. And then as a part of the Kickstarter, we have 3 sketch covers, which I think you've posted most of them.
Yes.
This is a Pinhead by Austin Ackert.
Love it.
So if you purchase one of our packages, you can get this as part of it. This is Something is Killing the Children. The bandana around the dog's mouth is from Erica Slaughter. And Erica Slaughter is the good guy, good girl, good woman. And so this dog has took her bandana and killed her. And I showed the author, David Kiddos Jr. this, and he's like, no, you can't kill Erica Slaughter. I don't think she's the good guy. I was like, I don't think the Chihuahuas care who the good guy is.
It just makes the threat of the Chihuahuas more real. People will see even Erica Slaughter can't stop them. And
this is a Night of the Living Dead kind of homage. We were trying to figure out how to mask the eye off of it. This is by a local artist, Victor Irizarry. I think he did a great job here.
Absolutely.
So, I mean, I don't know. Trying to build original art for a first-time indie is kind of hard, but some of the people have been very kind. and helped us out. So,
and what you have is impressive. I mean, those homages, they're dead on. People will make the connection with the originals, but it also goes back to this idea of Night of the Chihuahuas being so embedded in that 70s, 80s horror context and being a lot of fun. You know, something that they can hop on board, get a cover that homages your favorite movie or TV series, and just read and enjoy Night of the Chihuahuas for what it is. So I think the homages are great, and it speaks to the audience. People will appreciate what you two have put together.
I've really tried to. People say that were told me that you're homaging a lot, and I'm like, well, like I want people to pick the comic book up. It's got, you put anything as a killer Chihuahua, it's kind of funny. So I mean, even the title, like you said, is kind of funny. So you put a Jaws poster with a killer Chihuahua. It's kind of funny.
I agree completely, and this is actually what Nate's referring to. Just a really well done homage, and is consistent with what you can expect from Night of the Chihuahuas. Listen, gentlemen. Oh, sorry, go on.
I was going to say really quick that artwork is done by a good friend of Josh and I. His name is Tim Hahn, and he's part of a mural group called the Illuminaries out of the San Francisco Bay Area.
Really, really well done homage. Again,
yeah.
I think that you two have been on top of it when it comes to selecting cover art for this series. Gentlemen, it has been a pleasure. Thank you for joining us. Is there anything like last minute that you two want to plug or that we should know?
Let them know about Fan Fusion.
Oh, this June 2nd through 4th. If you're listening to this and you're in the Phoenix area, the Phoenix Fan Fusion, I believe, is the biggest Comic-Con in the state, will be happening. Come by and see us. We're at booth 1781. We'll be there with David Kiddos Jr. signing autographs. Jay Photos, who did the Chicker cover, he said he'll autograph for you if you want to come down. And we'll also have Sophia Cox as an artist we're working with. She'll be at the table. She'll be doing something kind of fun this time. She loves drawing like the women of comics. So she will do like Storm with a killer Chihuahua. So it'll be kind of a fun, if you want a sketch cover, it'll be a fun take. And that's what we're offering this time. We're not going to have a lot of flexibility. We wanted to give her room to create something she's comfortable that she can kind of go through, and it should be fun.
So thank you once again for joining us on the Fandom Collectibles YouTube channel. Make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you subscribe. What you saw today is what we're here to bring you. So stay tuned. More creators, more art, and more of the fun of this hobby. You two stick around. I want to talk to you backstage. For everybody else, until next time.